Hi everyone, welcome to our channel Eminent Statistics Institute Coaching Center. This video for the iitjam 2023 old question paper, that is MCQ1MARK, the question number 6. This is our question here. Let x1, x2, x3 be a random sample from normal distribution with a mean theta and variance 1 distribution, where theta belongs to R is an unknown parameter. Then which one of the following conditional expectation does not depend on theta? It is the question is based on the definition. Here the options are given. Once observe the options, here the expectation of x1 plus x2 plus minus x3 given x1 plus x2. Option B is the expectation of x1 plus x2 minus x3 given x2 plus x3. Option C, expectation of x1 plus x2 minus x3 given x1 minus x3. And option D, the expectation of x1 plus x2 minus x3 given x1 plus x2 plus x3. Listen one. Given that xi is follows to the normal distribution with the mean theta and variance 1. Here I equal to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That means the expectation of xi is theta and the variance of xi is value is 1. Here I equal to 1, 2, 3. Then here the condition is the statement is the conditional expectation does not depend on the theta. That means independent of the parameter theta. Here conditional expectation does not depend on parameter theta. Here the which option is the correct statement for the conditional expectation does not depend on the parameter theta. We know the sufficiency concept. Sufficiency estimate. The sufficient estimator definition is any estimator has a complete information about a particular parameter is called sufficient estimator. And if suppose if Tn of x1 comma x2 comma and so on xn is an estimator of a parameter theta based on a sample x1 comma x2 comma and so on xn of size n from the population with density function f of x comma theta such that the conditional distribution of x given t is independent of parameter theta. Therefore, then the Tn is sufficient estimate of parameter theta. Parameter theta. Okay, the sixth problem is completely based on the sufficiency estimator definition. Here, the conditional distribution of x given t is independent of the parameter theta. The conditional distribution of x given t is independent of the parameter theta. Here, in the question, the following condition expectation does not depend on the parameter theta. That means conditional expectation of x given x given x given t is, that is, the expectation of g of x given t is independent of theta. Here, where g of x is, unbiased estimator, of parameter theta. T is sufficient estimator of parameter theta. Once observe this problem. Here, the xi is follows to the normal distribution with mean theta and variance is 1. Xi is follows to the normal distribution with parameter with mean theta and variance 1. Okay, we know that the sufficient estimator for the normal distribution for the parameter theta is summation xi is sufficient estimator of parameter theta. Here only 3 random variables, that is x1 plus x2 plus x3 is sufficient estimator of parameter theta. And g of x, let g of x equal to, I am taking the for the all the options here, the expectation of x1 plus x2 minus x3 for the all the options. So let g of x equal to, I am taking x1 plus x2 minus x3. Taking expectation, the expectation of g of x is equal to expectation of x1 plus x2 minus x3. For the given information, the expectation of x1 is theta, the expectation of x2 theta, the expectation of x3 theta. Theta cancel, then we are getting theta. Expectation of g of x is equal to theta. Therefore, the g of x is unbiased estimator of parameter theta. Biased estimator of parameter theta. Therefore, the expectation of g of x given t, that means expectation of g of x means x1 plus x2 minus x3, that is the unbiased estimator, given the t is the sufficient estimator. Let capital T equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3. x1 plus x2 plus x3. It is in a conditional expectation. Conditional expectation is unbiased, is independent of parameter, independent of parameter theta. So based on the sufficiency definition. So therefore, it is also rewritten as a, it is an a does not depend on the parameter theta. Therefore, the conditional expectation, conditional expectation is does not depend on parameter theta. Therefore, the option is here The option D is our result. So for the option A, the x1 plus x2 is not a sufficient estimator. The option B, the x2 plus x3 is not sufficient estimator. Option C, the x1 minus x3 is not sufficient estimator. The sufficient estimator is the x1 plus x2 plus x3. That's why the option D is correct. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.